This is Mario Andretti, and you're listening to Fascination Street podcast.
I believe that everybody has a story, and I'm fascinated to hear them. So come with me as we take a walk down Fascination Street. Welcome back, Streetwalkers. This is part 2 and the conclusion to my conversation with the legendary Kinky Friedman. If you didn't catch part 1, go back and check that out. Some of that stuff does come up in part 2, so you're going to want to know what we're talking about. In this episode, we talk all about Echo Hill Ranch and the Echo Hill Camp for children of Gold Star families and also for the children of first responders. It's a new project that Kinky and his sister are working on there at the family ranch. And there might even be a way or two for you to get involved, whether it's by a financial donation or a donation of your time. Kinky lets me play the title track from the album Resurrection. Plus, Kinky plays live the song Banjo, Sophie, and Me off of his forthcoming album, The Poet of Motel 6. He plays it live. And throughout this second half of the interview, Kinky and I are enjoying some Lee W. Sinclair bourbon, courtesy of the French Lick Distillery in French Lick, Indiana. This is part 2 of my conversation with legend Kinky Friedman.
Yeah, talk to me, yeah.
Now, I know that you drink tequila, but I don't know if you drink bourbon.
Yeah, I will.
I brought you a bourbon. This is Lee W. Sinclair 4-grain bourbon. This is my sponsor for my show. They are out of French Lick, Indiana, from the Spirits of French Lick Distillery. So this is for you, my friend. Enjoy it in good health.
Very generous gift, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you like it as much as I do.
Should we have just a little shot, or you got to drive?
That's up to you, man.
I'm 76 trombones. I mean, I probably couldn't drink this and drive all the way to...
You want me to open it?
Maybe you should, yeah. By the way, did you see this thing? This is a fossilized bagel. I'm not shitting you. Take a look at that. I found this motherfucker. Don't take it home with you now. I want it. I need it.
Now, is it anti-Semitic for you to call that a bagel?
Probably there's people who think that, but they're not very bright or courageous.
Here you go, buddy.
Oh, I know what's causing me to...
It's open, so don't
talk about Jews so much. Is I'm wearing the
Israel Army
Jake
hat.
Wolf's Israeli Army. Jake Wolf was a kid here at camp many years ago. Now he's bigger than we are. I'm going to do something I've never done. Since somebody gave me this one, which I like, I'm going to give me something that's been with me for 45 years, maybe.
You're going to give me something that's been with you?
Yeah, I don't know you that well. I like you.
Well, thank you.
Not that much, but I like you a little bit. And well, first of all, just drinking from this probably bring you good luck.
Nice. I'm all about the good luck these days.
Okay. That's the sacred bull's horn. I don't know if I would take that gift from yourself. I mean, it's been with Indians and all kinds of sacred shit. I mean, it looks a little disappointing, and it looks like it
looks cool as shit. Cheers.
All right. Let's see. Here's to honor, get honor, and stay honor. Texas toast.
So is there a chance that you're going to go on tour with this new album?
Yeah. I mean, so what I've found is that has saved me if I do a tour in Europe and Australia, probably New York too, I would bet. Maybe LA. If I fuck something up, which is inevitable. If I forget something, usually forgetting it. Let's say I'm on stage and I forget it.
Uh-huh.
All you do is you walk over to a little table next to you, which has a bottle of Mexican mouthwash. So what I do is, if I forget something, I take a of the tequila, come right back, and I'm totally activated and happy.
But that's not the whole ritual. Isn't there a word you say?
Oh yeah, that's right. Thanks. See, I forgot that. What I say is, fuck. And I walk over there. People love it. Now, when you do it 2 or 3 times a show, maybe 4, they like it more and more. And you know what? In Europe, I know this. They think it's performance art. They think I deliberately fucked up just so I could do this, which is never the case. I once asked Willie, how come there's a picture of everybody in show business at Glenn Campbell's house, but not you? He said, well, years ago, we made a publishing deal where for $25,000, he would get every song I wrote that year, publishing.
Willie?
Mm-hmm. And they did that deal. So unfortunately, that year, Willie only wrote one song, and it was Bloody Mary Morning, which Glenn Campbell, for some reason, didn't like, or didn't think much of it. But this documentary of Glenn, James Keach or somebody did the thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
He's got Alzheimer's. And I met Glenn where he had recorded Sold American. By that time, it was on an album called I Knew Jesus Before He Was a Superstar. In other words, it was too late. Glenn was already through, I was through, and the song was through, when it might have been worth millions that have been a few years earlier. So in this picture, it's so well done, this documentary. Glenn is backstage, and Paul McCartney comes up to him. He says, Glenn, I love you, man. And Glenn says, thanks, buddy. And Glenn had no clue who he was. He didn't know where he was. And then Glenn's kid gently takes Glenn by the shoulders, and guides him onto the stage. Oh, and then Glenn goes on stage, not aware that almost every musician on stage is one of his kids or family. And the moment he starts singing, I Am a Lineman for the County, he is pitch perfect. I mean, he's right on the money.
He's just right back into it.
Right back there, man. And the songs are all, they make you weep, but they're right where they should be.
So we're talking about you may be going on tour to promote this new album when it comes out. Is there a chance you're going to play at Luckenbach? That's the closest cool place to my house. And that's why I'm asking, because I'm selfish.
How much you going to give me? I need $200 or $300.
Damn it.
I don't know. I mean, what I'm doing now, this past year has been real successful. And if I can keep it like that and just tell some stories, some jokes, I don't even know why I need them anymore, because we've got songs that really, when you hear Resurrection, there's 4 or 5 you can put in the show as new stuff, pretty much. And then...
Wait, is this the new one?
No, it's not. It's about a year old.
Okay.
That's a year old. That's Larry Campbell produced, yeah.
Okay. I can put a couple of these in the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. At any rate, I found something out at the Redneck Country Club, this music place in Houston, that you can take your trousers down and do whatever you want to do the first half of the show, if you got enough spiritual power for the second half. In my case, it would be about 4 songs. 4, that's all it has to be. Because I'm already telling them that, well, I can't show this one here because we have no video, right?
Correct.
But it's a very funny joke, and it takes about 10 minutes. And
Oh, Lord.
Well, I mean, I hate to waste the thing. I can't.
Yeah, don't waste it on an audience.
We could try it on audio, but it's not going to.
Nah.
Okay, you lose it. All right. So then there's some songs on there you do, and then you hit them with the serious shit right at the end. Hit them with a Ballad of Ira Hayes, Ride 'em Jew Boy, whatever. Hit them with your heavy stuff at the end, pow, 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 and everybody's forgotten who they are anyway.
Karen Jones was just 15, could have been homecoming queen, but she had a child and she lived at the Salvation Army. Now she has a thrift store of her own, raises money for folks without a home. Too bad she'll never find a home for me. And Tom Baker was a friend of mine, knew him in his Irish fighting prime. He was an actor, but sometimes directed. Yeah, the Baker man, he was my friend. He stuck with me until the end. It came a little sooner than expected. Resurrection, that's the name of the song. Resurrection. Now that I've been down so long, don't know where I'm going, ain't got no direction. Resurrection. And Susie died completely healed, but you gotta play the hand you deal. Susie, I'm so glad you came along. Embraced by the tears. She'd been clean for 7 years, but resurrection was the name of the song. I still miss my mom and dad, two best friends I ever had. They were always with me from the start. All the shows in all the towns, all the ups and all the downs, they were walking with me in my heart. Resurrection, that's the name of the song. Resurrection, now that I've been down so long, don't know where I'm going, ain't got no direction. Resurrection, resurrection. You might think that I'm too old to be out playing on the road instead of staying home where I belong. You might think that it ain't right to be out driving half the night. No, it ain't right. It ain't even wrong. It's resurrection. That's the name of the song. Resurrection. Now that I've been down so long, I don't know where I'm going, ain't got no direction. Resurrection, resurrection. What's in my heart is in my soul, is in a day-old donut hole eaten by an off-duty cop in San Francisco. Nights are getting colder, but there's an angel on my shoulder. Somehow she always gets me to the next show. Resurrection, resurrection. That's the name of the song. Resurrection, resurrection. Now that I've been down so long, don't know where I'm going, ain't got no direction. Resurrection, resurrection, resurrection. Do you know the pick of that? Resurrection, you can make it, baby. Resurrection, we're with you, sonny boy. Resurrection, we're all of us together. Resurrection, resurrection.
So let's talk about the ranch. Your sister is here.
Well, so I never thought that I would be a philanthropist, or my sister would. My sister is directing the camp this summer.
Okay. She's the one who worked for the government for a long time.
That's right. We don't.
She's a colonel?
Colonel. Yeah,
Okay.
she is a colonel. Yes.
The camp. What's it called?
The camp and the ranch is Echo Hill Ranch.
Okay.
And it's been around for 65 years.
Now, your parents ran this camp before?
Yes. They started it in 1952, 53, with the idea of treating children like adults and adults like children.
Which we should adopt as a philosophy more and more.
Yeah, and it's a good one. You should see my dad. Should have talking to a kid.
Is that him?
Yes. He was also Distinguished Flying Cross War Hero.
49 missions over Germany?
No, I think 30. I think
39.
I think 36.
And he was
Where are
in
you
the-
getting 49 from? Up there?
Oh, where did I get it from? That's what I thought I remembered. But I think it is 39.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
My dad was saying, when you know you have just one more mission and it's a bitch, and then you see Jimmy Stewart come out there and his crew is getting ready to go, we're going to be okay. We're going to be safe, because they would never dare send Jimmy Stewart into a busy area of flak. They wouldn't
Right.
do it. They've got to bring him back alive.
Jimmy Stewart and I share a birthday.
Really?
Yeah. I'm much younger and also still alive. So back to this camp. So this camp is designed for children of Gold Circle families. Is that right?
Gold Star families.
Gold
yeah.
Star. I'm sorry. Gold Star
I
families.
hate to correct you for everything you do, but
Well,
yes, this is a camp for Gold Star kids. There may be only one or two of them in our country. The others are like what's the illness that happens to your head if you bang it again too many times?
leprosy.
No. You don't know what it is? I mean, what a PTSD.
Oh, PTSD. I was going to go with amnesia, but
If it's PTSD or if it's wounded warrior or something, we've got that covered, pretty covered. I mean, there's a lot.
in this country, yeah.
Yeah, in this country. What we don't have covered is the kids in the family, in the Gold Star family. But we take it beyond that. We also are having a session for first responder kids. And this means no parents, no adults, kids. And they will have the time of their life. They will meet some really cool people. And what we have in common is we've all lost somebody. And it's, I think, going to be a thing of beauty. I've had a little experience with this, being the oldest lifeguard in Texas at camp.
That's your role here at the camp?
I don't know. We're talking about it. We'll see what it's going to be.
It's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to meet some people.
Yeah, this is not a school or a clinic or anything like that. This is a fun place for kids. And if you like it, and we like you, you can come back forever.
Even if you age out?
Yes, because there'll be other stuff you can do. Now, Echo Hill was a camp for boys and girls, but it was a summer camp. I mean, it was a basic private summer camp, and it was a great one.
Was it a Jewish summer camp or just a summer camp?
Started out Jewish, but it got more and more Christian as it went on. I would just tell you the truth. I think it had a nice even balance by the end. A good Christian is a good Jew, and a good Jew is a good Christian. Anyway, so there's counselor in training, there's all kind, and there's Trailblazers, which is a outfit that's going to do things that nobody else ever did. And that would be a couple of hikes that take hours, several hours. It's not a survivalist thing quite, but it would be for some of the older kids. But all the kids are trailblazers in this for a lot of reasons. And we follow the Paul Newman model. And the Paul Newman model is 100% to charity. And I think we can do it. It's beginning to look, because we're getting real support from a lot of people. You just go to echohill.org. We'll tell you how you can get involved. And maybe you used to build birdhouses years ago and you forgot that, you know. Well, this could be something that somebody might like to know. I just talked to this guy, Hoppy, in Fredericksburg.
Okay.
Anyway, Hoppy is just an authority on the Comanches. And he'll take a group of boys and we'll video the whole thing and we'll do it. And we'll have a Comanche ward tent that the kids built. And it'll be done in an hour or an hour and a half, you know.
Nice.
And everybody will be on the video and everybody will have their experience with it.
Hey, Streetwalkers, here's a word from our sponsors.
Spirits of French Lick is proud to introduce the Lee Sinclair 4-grain bottled and bond bourbon. This 4-year aged double pot distilled non-chill filtered bourbon has creamy, round, and lifting notes with caramel and vanilla, followed by apple, mint, graham cracker, and ginger, as well as cardamom. The finish is slightly French walnut, resolving the sweet, fruity, almost ground cherry and white pepper. Our spirits are available for tasting and purchase inside the French Lick Winery and Distillery. Spirits of French Lick. Respect the grain. Please enjoy responsibly.
Let's get back into it.
I mean, I've been doing this a little while now. That we're just about, you're always fundraising if you're doing something like this. But to get back to Paul Newman for a minute, I've always admired what he did. The Paul Newman pizza model says 100% to charity. Yeah. I don't think his kids are doing that anymore.
Really?
Yeah. But I asked the kids, there were 40, when I say kids, I mean the military, the guys that are here. And volunteering to paint and fix up stuff and do all that. And said, look at this, 100% to charity, Paul Newman. How many of you know who Paul Newman is? And these are Intel kids. These are smarter than your average kids. None of them, zero, had ever heard of Paul Newman. And I said, fucking Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Cool Hand Luke, you never heard of? No. So that was one little interesting episode. There was a guy today that's out here, you know, he's doing stuff. He's not getting paid. And I said, thank you. I gave him a copy of the book, Heroes of a Texas Childhood, and the same CD I gave you. And he says, I'm doing this for Jesus.
Nice.
Very fucking nice. And he's not even taking the money for the fucking expenses. So anyway, so just to round out that, anybody that wants to contribute, please do. And any questions, go to echohill.org. We're getting a really good response. This camp is really going to be something. I'm very excited by it. It's been forever since we've had a summer camp here.
When is it going to start? When is it going to open? I know COVID threw you off track a little bit.
I think June 23rd is the start date.
Okay, cool.
So this for 11 days. And then there's another session for first responders. And this is for firemen and cops kids, mostly. You look at all these people, you think about whether it's Kenny Rogers, or is Kenny Rogers dead?
Yeah, he died during COVID. Yes, sir.
He was bugled to Jesus.
Yes, he was.
Singing
The Gambler.
the song Willie should have recorded. Yeah.
That's right.
At any rate, I never thought I'd be doing this, and I never thought I'd find it that much fun what people are saying.
That rewarding.
Yeah, I mean, not just the fat cats. I think the biggest donation so far was a very large one. And the guy's a personal friend of mine. And so I can't say who he is, but I will tell you he's the shampoo king of Dripping Springs. That's the only clue I can give.
That is a bizarre clue, my friend.
So he gave a huge amount and said, okay, do you want to be on the board of directors? Do you want to be on the advisory board or something like that? And he says, put me down as Mr. Anonymous. I said, you got a deal. It is a thing that my uncle taught me from the song Rapid City, South Dakota, which is probably the best song I ever wrote.
South Dakota.
Coder. Dwight never picked up on that. Never. Never. My uncle Eli, his motto in life, he was from Chicago. He says, life is about playing a poor hand well. So if you can do that, play a poor hand well and treat children like adults and adults like children, you're off to a good start.
I like it.
Yeah. And may the Lord take a liking to you.
But not too soon.
I mean, a lot of these guys will set up money for charities for whatever, so it taxes or whatever they do.
Right.
But they still, even some of the best ones, these damn actors want to be musicians, man. Every fucking last one of them.
Oh, speaking of which,
Yeah.
completely unrelated, I hear that Dennis Quaid might have something to do with this thing, too. He might be a part of this.
Dennis might well be a part of this, yeah. He's got a smile. He's a happy guy, man. He may be miserable. He probably is.
He seems happy as shit.
He seems happy as shit, and that's good enough for me. That's the kind of guy you want around the kids, because we haven't done this before. We did one. My dad and mom had a camp for inner city kids, Hispanic, black, and white. That was in the 80s, which was unheard of in the hill country. And these kids had never seen a horse in person. And I will not forget the staff. The staff was our regular camp staff. And so the ones that volunteered that want to stay around for 2 weeks for this inner city session, do it. You're welcome to do it. And the effect it had, not on the kids had a ball. I mean, the kids, their favorite meal was hamburgers, hot dogs, watermelon, whatever. Horseback riding, swim, everything was new to them. But the counselors were deeply touched by this experience. And I hope it's going to be the same. I think it will.
Well, I hope it will, too. And cheers to that. Now, as we're heading out, did you want to play me a song?
Oh, yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I'm a little bit drunk, but that's great stuff.
Good. I'm glad you like it. You got the rest of the bottle.
Ooh, look, where is it?
It's right here. It's right next to your beautiful guitar. Play me a song.
You were being sarcastic about the guitar, I hope. No?
I was not.
Oh, you weren't. That's what I think. I think it's a fine guitar.
It's a gorgeous guitar.
No, Phil Cody says it's a cheap fucking tinnies.
It's an Epiphone.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell Phil Cody. Oh, speaking of Phil Cody, not really, but speaking of Mike Dawson, he works for Adam Carolla.
Yeah. Somebody told me that Adam gave us a nice plug the other day for the book.
He did.
Great.
Absolutely, he did. And he has 1 million listeners, so that's a good thing.
Very nice.
But Adam Carolla has 13 of Paul Newman's race cars. He's collected all of Paul's race cars, and he built a little museum in one of his warehouses.
I always get very bored with the four-wheeled penises, which are what cars are. I've got a number of friends who are exactly like that. Jay Leno, of course, is like that. And something I like about Jay Leno. I've done his show a few times, but people say he's a hack. He's whatever you want to say. He may be very old school, but he's better than the guys that are on right now.
Agreed. And I heard that he would come to the green room before the show and just say hi and make sure you're comfortable with what's going to go out there. And the other guys don't do that. The first time you see him is when you step out there on the stage with him.
I have learned a lot about the yin and the yang from Willie. Not really, but enough to know that when I say something bad about people, it comes back in a positive way. I don't know why that would be. One time, Guy with the long hair that goes straight up. Lyle Lovett. That used to go straight up.
I never would have gotten that.
All right. Lyle was doing a show, and I brought my gorgeous girlfriend from Minnesota there, the one that Bob Dylan wanted her phone number, you know. He had so much to ask one of his guys to ask Kinky, is it okay? I said, yes, definitely. He never hosed her anyway, so.
Well, that's good.
But Bob was very nice to her, very kind. Anyway, so Lyle is doing a show in a theater in Minnesota, and I was a guest of his, so I brought the girl. And just to make the short version of it is, I'm watching the show, and I say to my girlfriend, you know, he didn't write many of these songs. And also, he's got a 12-piece fucking band here, and, you know, I mean, come on. Anyway, so right about that time, when I'm kind of lightly trashing him, he says, and now I'd like to introduce a dear friend of mine, probably one of the greatest songwriters in the country, definitely in Texas. Let's welcome Kinky Friedman. And I was just seconds after I'd finished saying bad shit about him. Okay, so we did Sold American together. I did not know he was going to bring me up, so I kind of fucked up the song anyway. Then I am talking to my girlfriend, and I said, look at that. Got this fucking Italian suits on, you know, and all this shit. And the songs that he wrote are so cutesy, you know. It's a pretty legitimate critique, but, I mean, he was going down well with the crowd, but I was saying, oh, that fucking guy. And he calls me up again. And this time it's just flowery as shit, man. He could not have heard me say that, but he must have. So that's the yin and the yang. All right, now we got a decision to make.
We don't have a decision to make. You have a decision to make.
All right, what are the odds of this thing? Oh, we're going to play it on the podcast.
You're going to play it right now live.
Okay.
And then that's what's going to be on the podcast.
Oh, we were going to say Banjo, Sophie, and me?
Okay.
That's a sleeper. Sophie's my dog who is not doing.
Oh, is that baby girl that I met earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
And today I wrote a song in one day called The Life and Death of the Rodeo Clown. I'm good at titles.
You're great at titles.
Banjo, Sophie, and me.
All right, do it.
Have you ever heard Buddy, You're Living My Dream?
Yes, I love that song so much.
And you heard it from the other guy's podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, let's do Banjo, Sophie, and me.
All right.
Because I kind of want to keep the Billy Joe thing under wraps a bit.
Sure.
Now, there's 2 page turnings on this, so...
You knock yourself out.
We warmed our hearts around a borrowed campfire. Never gave a thought to growing old. Then Bird fell off his perch and left me Banjo. And Sophie sorta snuck in from the cold. Now it's Banjo and Sophie and me. Banjo and Sophie and me. We rambled round this country, we 3. Banjo and Sophie and me. Now welcome all ye dogs and all ye people, and all the furry friends we met along the way. Always together forever and ever, and I cherish all their memories today. And now it's Banjo, fuck me dead. And now darling little Banjo, he died in the night. His tail still a-wagging, his eyes shining bright. Now he's bound for the land of the 4-legged free. So long, Banjo, from Sophie and me. Now Banjo is gone and Sophie is waiting,
and I'm just a few steps behind them, I know. But when my time has come, there'll be no hesitating. I'ma go in wherever they go. And Banjo and Sophie and me, Banjo and Sophie and me, from old Echo Hill to Armadillo Canyon, Banjo and Sophie and me. You see, a dog believes that you're never gonna die. A dog believes life is a game. A dog believes you can do it if you try. Soon he'll have you believing the same. 'Cause dogs are loyal and loving, and they never would dream of ever telling a lie. And they break your heart only one time. That's when they tell you goodbye. And Banjo and Sophie and me, Banjo and Sophie and me, Banjo and Sophie and Sophie and Banjo and Sophie and me.
That is fantastic. That's a beautiful song.
If we can clean it up a bit.
And Banjo was a real dog?
Yeah. Oh, that one was a darling. Biggest ears you've ever seen.
Well, thank you. That was gorgeous. That's going to be on the new album whenever that comes out, right?
Yeah. That's Banjo and Sophie and me.
Well, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about and that I didn't ask you about today?
Well, I'm a natural pitchman or dancing bear. Anybody that wants to help, it's not just money. It's more than just a financial pleasure. Anybody that makes music, has the energy and the interest to get along with kids, please get in touch with us.
And that website again is echohill.org.
Echohill.org. That'll tell you most of what you'll need to know. It's going to be quite an interesting experience. I really don't think I can legally be the oldest lifeguard in Texas because, what am I, 76? Well, I'm expired from many years ago. I mean, I am a legitimate
lifeguard.
Yeah.
All right. So I just need you to do one thing for me, if you will, and you don't have to, but I would super appreciate it. Right into this mic, if you could just tell me your full Christian name and then say you're listening, say this is your full Christian name and you're listening to Fascination Street Podcast.
Hi, this is Richard Kinky Big Dick Friedman. It's my full Christian name. And you are listening to the podcast Fascination Street.
Fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That worked, didn't it?
It did. That worked great. Hey, Streetwalkers. It's time for a giveaway. Thanks to our generous friends at Sylvania, we're going to give away some Bluetooth speakers. What do you think? These are fairly special and limited Fascination Street Podcast edition, as they have a little Fascination Street emblem on the end. This oblong Bluetooth speaker is about 8 inches tall and about 3 inches in diameter, and is IPX4 waterproof. So how do you win? Well, what I need all of you to do is post a short video to your Instagram story, your Facebook story, or even your TikTok, telling everybody why you love Fascination Street Podcast and which is your favorite episode. Make sure to tag the show in these videos, and each week I'll pick one winner to win one of these special limited edition Sylvania Bluetooth speakers, and I'll mail it to you. And I might even throw a couple of other Fascination Street Pod swag in there as well. So tell a friend, tell all your friends, and include it in your stories on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. And don't forget to tag the show, Fascination Street Podcast. Opening music is the song Magnolia from the 2014 album Intransigence, used with permission from Douglas Miles Clark. Closing music is Apollo from the 2001 album Into the Known by the band Sapphire. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to know a little bit about our guest. We'll see you next time on Fascination Street.